It is Sunday, January 21st, 2024, here with my good friend Ryan. You may remember Ryan. He's been on the show in the past. He's the one that sold a lot of the gold balances, and he's here today, and he's got a new product. It's a silver balance. And Ryan, you patented this with an engineer, I believe?
Yeah, engineering firm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Took about a year and a half to develop. Just make sure you get all the measurements right. You have to do a lot of math, make sure everything lines up. Want to make sure I deliver a great product.
Now this does silver, the 7 silver coins.
Yeah,
I mean, 7 of the top silver coins. Your Eagles, Cougarans, Buffaloes, Philharmonics, etc.
Maple Leafs. Your
top 7. We're going to talk about this. Stay to the end of this video. This is a great little tool, an incredible asset. Again, he developed this, and you're selling these for $26. I don't make a dime. If he sells 10,000 of these, I don't make a dime. Full disclosure, he is giving me one of these. But I believe that we have got to support people in the community. It's not all about money. I know that there's a lot of people out there asking for a lot of money to advertise something. Full disclosure, he's giving me one of these. I believe in this stuff. We're going to talk about why it's so important to have. If we get into a barterable situation, a time in America, how are you going to be able to verify that your silver, that you're maybe acquiring or selling one asset for some silver coins? How are you going to verify that they're real? This gives you 3 ways to verify silver. Before, he had the gold balance, which you did not patent. This one he did patent, and this is a great tool, a great asset. Stay to the end of the video. We'll talk about it if you're interested in picking one of these up. But Ryan came out today from San Diego. Ryan, give them a little bit of your background again in case they haven't seen you in a while.
So I've been in the precious metals business for about 2.5 years right now. Started watching JB around the same time and just realized I needed to get more prepared rather than just financially, because that's gold and silver.
Yeah.
So that's why we're out here training today, training jiu-jitsu,
at the range, security. So here's another example of somebody walking the walk, and it's good to see young people like Ryan doing jiu-jitsu. We'll talk more about that too. Out here at the range, working on his security. He's in the gold-silver business. And you know, people Ryan, are always like, I don't have any money. I'm sitting on the couch. I just want to play video games, and I don't have any money for preparations. You went out and you developed something, and you're going to make some money off of this, no doubt, but you're giving people an incredible asset, an incredible tool, and it's very innovative, and we need more people like you who innovate and help the community, and I think that's wonderful. So there's always a way to make money. You can get side hustles. You can develop a project like this that took how long? Over a year?
It was over a year and a half.
So there's no excuses. There's still ways to go out there and make money and innovate and create and manufacture things and just think outside of the box. But we'll get to that at the end of this video. A few things I do want to talk about. It's very important with everything happening with BRICS, everything happening with the U.S. economy. I want to talk a little bit about gold and silver. And what are you seeing? You told me last night at dinner that it is not uncommon for somebody to come in and spend $1 million on a gold purchase at your store.
Yeah, we'll see that at least every quarter, and that's just one store. So there
one person.
Yeah, one person at one store. You know, $1 million every quarter or so. There's been people spending $1 million a month if they're just brand new into metals and they want to get that 10 to 20% investment in precious metals. Yeah. So it's not uncommon
to see $100,000, $500,000, or $1 million coming in from one individual, and that just reinforces with me that if you're watching people in the top 1% stockpiling gold and silver, then, why are we not doing the same thing? We see the central banks that have already year-to-date bought 14% more gold, more physical gold year-to-date, 14% more than they did last year, which was a record-breaking year. Why are we not being our own central banks doing the same thing? So I think that it's very important to own this stuff. You would agree, I'm sure you're in the business, and you're seeing huge purchases, huge amounts of cash coming in. And you said they literally just have a Brinks truck pick it up and drive it to their vault or a private vault or to their homes or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. It depends on the person exactly where they want it, but always secure vault,
okay,
something like that.
Now, you guys buy gold and silver?
Absolutely.
Now, a lot of people will say, well, I can't, you know, you can't eat gold or silver, but I always disagree because I could take it to Ryan's store and he's going to give me cash money for it, and I could go to a grocery store and go buy food. It's that easy, right?
Yeah.
Now, I say it's untrackable, unhackable, untaxable. And last night somebody said, oh, you think it's untrackable? Laugh out loud. Yeah, I do. Because first off, nobody knows how much gold or silver you have. Nobody knows where it's at. It could be buried out here at our range. It could be buried out on the farm. It could be buried in the backyard. It could be under a mattress. It could be at my office. It could be in another state. It could be anywhere. And nobody knows. Because when people buy from you and many other places, you don't require a name. And even if I buy from SD Bullion and they know my name, but nobody knows if I took that gold, gave it away as a gift, sold it, buried it, lost it. Nobody knows. Now, if I go to Ryan and I want to sell it and say I want to sell, I don't know, you know, 15 ounces of gold at roughly, let's just even it out at $30,000. You're going to give me an envelope of cash, not ask me a question, and I'm going to walk right out.
Yeah. And you won't have to report it because the reporting amounts for gold, it varies on the product, but it's about 30 ounces.
Okay. So if I wanted to sell 20 ounces today, come back tomorrow, sell another 20 ounces, and another 20 ounces the next day, I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how is that trackable? Could you explain that to me?
It isn't.
Is it hackable?
Nope.
Is it taxable?
Nope.
So why don't you own some? I just think it's one of the most liquid assets on planet Earth. And of course, if we went anywhere to South America, to Europe, to Asia, everybody knows what this is. Everybody knows what an ounce of gold looks like. Everybody knows it's real money. So I think that it's really, really important to own some of this stuff. I don't give financial advice. I don't care if people own it or don't own it. It doesn't really matter. I own it. You own it. Everyone in my circle owns it. Everyone in my family owns it. So I think it's extremely, extremely important. So make sure to stay to the end of this video. This is really, really important, especially if you have silver, if you believe you're going to have to barter with silver, if you're a silver bug, if you own silver, this thing is extremely important. And Ryan will do a breakdown of how it works and why it's so important. Also, I just wanted to talk about and get your feedback on this article. It came out this morning on CNBC. The buy now, pay later holiday debt hangover has arrived as consumers wonder how they'll pay their bills. Isn't it amazing? Now in 2024, people are going to now think about how they're going to pay their bills. In the article, there is a woman in here who had basically no money. She's got credit card debt, all kinds of debt, and she went out and went Christmas shopping and spent $1,700 in Christmas shopping with a buy now, pay later card. So this is fueling, it says, record holiday spending online surging 14% year over year. But now, how are people going to pay the bills? They've got credit card payments coming in, college tuition debt coming in, and now the buy now, pay later debt coming in. So on top of credit card debt at 23+%, they've got buy now, pay later payments. And remember, the delinquency rates on credit cards has doubled over the last 24 months. But in this article, this 31-year-old woman is selling her shoes to make her buy now, pay later payments. Ryan, what do you think about this careless, reckless type of thinking that people are doing?
I think people are just hoping that someone's going to come save them. They're going to hope for a government stimmy check or that it just gets forgiven, and they just live in the moment, don't think about tomorrow, and just bury their head in the sand until eventually they can't spend it anymore. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
And this woman, no offense to her, but she's probably one of the people in the comments that goes, you know, you shouldn't talk about this stuff. It's scary and it's stressing people out. Let it be. And these are the people who have no food. They have no gear. They have no assets. They have no gold, no silver. They have no training. They have nothing. But they found a way to spend $1,700 for Christmas shopping with a buy now, pay later plan. No wonder everybody is broke. But everybody continues the excuses that I can't afford, you know, $25 for a silver coin. I can't afford some gold. I would have much rather seen her buy an ounce of gold than a bunch of garbage made in China for Christmas for her whoever she bought it for. But again, people have all these excuses of why they don't have anything, but they keep acquiring all this debt, buying dumb stuff. Any comment?
No, I think you summed it up perfectly.
Thank you. Now, another thing, jiu-jitsu. You've been training 2 years now. Why is it important?
Because if you just do weights, or if you just do Orange Theory or something like that, you're not really taking advantage of that strength if you ever needed to protect yourself. In jiu-jitsu, you get to unlock some of that ability to protect yourself better.
Yeah. And so you've been doing it for 2 years. You're going to continue doing it. You're at the range. You're stockpiling medals. You've got food, water. So you are covering all your bases. But getting back to jiu-jitsu, you know, people, look, I know if you're 80 years old in a wheelchair, I get it. You can't do it. But, you know, if you're in good shape, like somebody like Ryan, you're mobile, you can't really use age as an excuse at this point. You've got to be getting out doing it. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, I have an injury, Ryan. I can't train. But I always say, well, what's going to happen in real life when you have an injury and somebody throws you down on your back and you're on your butt? What are you going to do? You're going to use your injury as an excuse that, oh, I cannot defend myself because I have an injury. Nobody cares. They're looking for people like you.
Yeah.
So what do you say to people that are on the fence about, you know, maybe taking a boxing class or jiu-jitsu and, you know, self-defense? I think it's extremely, it's more important than gold and silver, in my opinion.
I think so.
Just like why we're out here today working on security. But, you know, again, what is the importance of having good, you know, defensive skills?
If you can't defend yourself, then people are just going to be able to take whatever you have, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you have if you can't protect it.
Right.
So
somebody will just take it.
Yeah.
And confidence. Talk about confidence.
Yeah, the martial arts and self-defense unlocks a confidence where you know you can defend yourself if you need to, or you know you can stand up for your girlfriend or your mom or whoever it is. You know you can kind of protect them as well. So it's not even just for yourself, it's for other people around you as well.
Right. So again, yeah, the Orange Theory, you know, throwing kettlebells around, going to the gym is really, really important. I believe that, but I think it really, I think going to the gym really complements jiu-jitsu and vice versa. So I think I think they both go together very, very well. But again, if you're in good shape and you're strong, it's not going to help you win a fight. It's not going to help you defend your assets. And you know, if it gets to a point to where it goes beyond that, well, then you have to go, you know, you have to go nuclear, right? And that's why we're out here training. But you hope to be able to use your hands to diffuse a situation, you know, not to ever have to take human life. That would be horrible. But jiu-jitsu is great too, because you can diffuse a situation and not have to go nuclear, not have to like take human life, right? So you choke somebody out, you know, they're going to wake up in a few seconds. If you have to like break somebody's arm or ankle or whatever, I mean, it's better than having to take a human life. And these people who think like, oh, I'm just going to pull out a boomstick, you know, if somebody, you know, gets in a fight, well, good luck. You're going to be in jail for a very, very long time. You're going to be in the legal system for a very, very long time. You know, but just say, yeah, somebody does something, you know, says something to your wife, or grabs your wife or your kid, or you've got somebody on drugs or somebody drunk at a bar and they're getting, you know, combative. You can't really take a life for that, right? I mean, let's all agree with that. But you can diffuse the situation. Jiu-jitsu is an excellent martial art to do that. And anybody that carries every day, you should definitely have some jiu-jitsu in your background. But switching gears here for a second, as we get moving here, we got some training to do. Beautiful day today, by the way. You know, we live in a world where corporate profits are at all-time highs, which is unbelievable, right? People are struggling. People are living paycheck to paycheck. People are working 40 hours a week and a side hustle or two. And now they're talking about raising retirement to 70. Can you believe this? I mean, so we are seeing record corporate profits, a record amount of people working paycheck to paycheck, people working 2, 3, 4 jobs, and now they're saying that you may have to work till you're 70 years old.
That doesn't surprise me. Most of my generation isn't going to get their Social Security payments, even though the government promises it, because it's already in 2035, I think they said.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's going to be broke.
Yeah,
So,
actually I think it was 2034. So it could be broke in 2030.
yeah.
Or we're going to print a lot more money, and the money you get if you're on a limited a budget like government subsidy, it's not going to buy anything. You'll definitely be in poverty for sure. But that's why this stuff is so important. Gold and silver is a great idea to have, because if your pension fails, Social Security fails, what else do you have to fall back on? If you don't have real assets that are liquid like gold and silver, you're going to be in big trouble, in my opinion. Anything you want to say?
Too much reliance on the government.
Yeah.
If you don't have gold and silver, you're trusting that, you know, the Fed can keep up the market, or, you know, bail out banks, or whatever they can do. You're completely reliant on that. If you have gold and silver, it hedges your risk to that, you know.
You know, somebody said yesterday, I saw in a comment, like, oh, what are you going to do if the government confiscates it? Well, first off, if the government confiscated it, it would probably be worth $50,000, maybe $100,000 an ounce. So there would be an incredible black market for gold. Secondly, I say, when they first confiscated it the first time, gold backed the dollar. It does not back the dollar now. Gold does not back the dollar now. So why would they want to confiscate it? And isn't it the government that has told us for decades that gold is just a barbarous relic? Why do you even own it? It's a waste of time. So again, why would they want to confiscate this barbarous relic? And if they did, the black market would be incredible. And what then would these other countries be paying for gold and silver, like China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, India, etc., if they were to do something like that? So it would be an incredible time if they did try to do something like that. Remember, when they did it the first time, not everybody gave up their gold. They didn't come door to door. Remember, they paid people market value for gold before they raised the price of it, but not everybody gave up their gold, and nobody went door to door confiscating gold. This time around, again, it does not back the currency. They've been calling it a barbarous relic that nobody wants. So if they all of a sudden said, we want your gold, gold's $50,000 an ounce, the black market will be absolutely incredible. Don't ever give up your gold, ladies and gentlemen. So, all right, so Ryan, explain how the new silver balance works.
All right, so it works.
What, we got a buffalo here?
Yeah, this is an Asahi Buffalo round. This is one of the 7 coins that it can measure. So it works mostly similar to the gold one, where you weigh it to make sure it weighs enough. Obviously, it'll tilt the scale. And then you go over to the, for this one, the Asahi Buffalo round measurements, and you measure the diameter, and you see it fits through there. And then you measure the thickness. And then the last test would be to make sure that it doesn't weigh too much, because there would be coins that would be filled with lead that would be heavier than silver, and those ones will tilt this scale. So as you can see, there you go. Tilt. So it does not tilt.
Now, if it was heavier, it would tilt.
It does tilt.
Yeah. Okay. We're not using the most balanced table here.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you have to use it on a flat surface to make sure it works the best. But you get your Eagle, your Buffalo Round, Krugerrand, Britannia, Kangaroo, Maple Leaf, and Philharmonic are the 7 coins that you're able to verify with this. So this is a fake coin. Obviously, it's copper. First test, the weight test doesn't quite tilt it. And then you go to the dimensional test. It may, if it passes that one, it's way too thick for there. Passes there, too thick. So there's always going to be a test that can detect the fake or altered coins.
So I think it's a great little tool. How much is it?
It's $26.
26 bucks. I'm going to put his link down below in the description box of this video. Check it out. Is it on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
Okay, so we'll put the link down below. Again, full disclosure, Ryan is giving me one of these. He could sell 10,000 of these. I'm not making a dime. Ryan's my friend. And I think that if you're a silver bug, if you're somebody that's stockpiling silver, this is a great item. It's a great gift. Just think, when we get to a time where people have got to barter with silver, This will allow you to sleep a little bit better at night, that if you do a transaction and you accept somebody's silver, that look, nothing's 100%. Obviously you could drill, you could do an acid test, you could use, what's the machine called?
The Sigma Metalytics.
Right. So if you have a $1,200 machine, wonderful. But, you know, if you're out at some farm and, you know, you're going to sell somebody some produce or some meat and you're bartering and somebody's going to give you some silver eagles or buffaloes or Krugerrands or whatever, you're on the spot. You have at least 3 ways. Well, one other way is to listen to it, right? Okay. The ding, that high pitch, right? It's wood, so. But typically you get that high pitch ring of silver. Most of you know what it sounds like. Here's 3 additional ways to verify it. So use that pitch and use this to verify 3 other ways. So now you have 4 ways to verify. So it gives you a little peace of mind, a little comfort that what you're accepting as money is real. $26. If you use this one time, probably going to be worth it. Pray to God you never have to use it. I hope we never get to a time where we have to barter. But I'm a realist. I know Ryan's a realist. We're heading there. And so for 26 bucks, I think it's a great idea. Again, you know, it's up to people of what they think is important to have right now. You know, you could go to Starbucks, get a couple coffees, or you could buy something like this. And most people probably go to Starbucks. But thanks for giving me one. I think it's an innovative idea. I think a lot of people are going to want one of these. And again, I'll put the link down below in the description box. Other than that, it's a beautiful day. We've been here for about an hour doing a little training. We're going to get back, do a couple more hours here. Ryan, anything you want to leave us with? Oh, I will say this. I'm going to put a little bit, if I have time, I'll put a little bit of the training on my Facebook page. You know, they don't like that here on YouTube. So it's their thing. So I'll respect that. I'm going to put a little bit on Facebook probably today or tomorrow when I have time. So you can check that out. Just go to Jeremiah Babe. Ryan?
I will say, if you're thinking about doing martial arts or jiu-jitsu, do it. The community is very accepting. They're not going to be judgmental of you. You know, everyone's a beginner, and just take that, you know, that first step and get you on that journey. It'll help you out in just about everything, I believe. Yeah.
You know, we talked earlier, a lot of people are kind of scared. They get humbled because they get tapped out and they feel very uncomfortable, and it's a very humbling experience. But you got to get past that. You've got to eat your pride, and you've got to train, and you've got to work on technique, and you've got to become better at the skill set, so that if you're ever in a situation in real life, you're going to be able to handle your business. And so too many people, you know, their pride gets in the way, and they never allow themselves to really get good at something. Especially like jiu-jitsu, because of pride. You may feel like you're the toughest person, you know, in the world. You go to a good jiu-jitsu academy and you get choked out, you know, 10 times, you feel defeated. But don't give up. Stick with it. And I will tell you this, 6 months of jiu-jitsu, of really good jiu-jitsu training, 6 months, you're a whole different person. The confidence, your skill set, 6 months of skill, you'll be a much more confident person, a person that will definitely be able to handle themselves. I can't say enough about it. It's so important. It's so important. Don't let pride get in your way. But, you know, we're out here just working on everything. Nobody here is a Navy SEAL. Nobody here is a UFC champion. Nobody here is a pro shooter. We're just trying to do the best that we can do and put the odds in our favor. And that's all you can do. All you can do is do the best that you can and put the odds in your favor. Remember, the average person today, look, we're at the range. There's not one single human being here today because they're all watching football games. So while people are watching football games and sitting on the couch today, we're here. And that doesn't mean like, you know, we're bragging about or being braggadocious or we're better than anybody. It's making the sacrifice. I'm sure Ryan could be at the beach today. I could be doing whatever. There's things that are much more fun to do than this, but this has got to be done. It has got to be done. And so you've got to make sacrifices in your life to get in better shape, to get financially, physically in better shape, to get in better spiritual shape, better mental shape. You have to give things up that may be fun, that may be addictive. But if you want to succeed, if you want to prosper, if you want success, you got to make sacrifices. That's why people that work harder, that work the long hours, that dedicate themselves, that add those skill sets, that's why they succeed. That's why they're the top 1%. So my advice is keep training, don't give up, get pride out of your way, stick to what you're doing, stick to the preparations, stick to the plan, don't get complacent, stick with it. Thanks for coming out, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right.